Why are we quiet? Jesus.
Okay, so let's see how we did on these division ones. At least hopefully we got through the first one. All right. You guys can just shout it out quick. What would the conjugate of my denominator be?
3 plus 5i.
3 plus 5i. Good. So with division, oops, I was using red. With division, our process here is to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate, which is the same two terms, just different signs in the middle. So Wesley said 3 plus 5i. He's beautiful. He's beautiful.
He is beautiful.
Sorry.
You're correct. Look at that handsome boy. He is
Sorry.
beautiful.
I meant that's beautiful. We're all beautiful, right? Okay, sorry, that was weird. All right. I don't have my mask to cover up my embarrassed face anymore. Up top, you should have gotten negative 6i minus 10i squared.
Woo! Carter got it.
On bottom, folks, I'm going to show you what I'm okay with. Now that we've gone through the process of why these cancel out, I'm okay with you just doing 3 times 3 is 9. I know these are going to drop out. So then negative 25i squared. I'm okay with you doing that. If that's too much to skip for you, if you need to see plus 15i minus 15i and see that those cancel, that's fine. But notice your patterns and save yourself some time. All right, so up top, I had an I squared, and I did on the bottom, which I squared is the same as negative 1. So my numerator cleans up to be a positive 10. I'm going to write the real part first. A negative 6i, and my denominator should get 9 plus 25 is 34.
Carter got that.
Carter, did you get that?
Carter got it. I don't know if I did. Carter got it though.
Okay, I said draw a little heart around this. So you remember to break it up
Oh, wait.
to write this in standard form. 10 over 34,
517.
5/17
What? 3 17 minus.
minus 3/17.
I.
I.
45.
Yo.
You guys are getting so excited about imaginary numbers. I love it.
Nicholas doesn't want to hear this.
Nicholas isn't. He's probably not even gonna watch this.
He's not. He'll be like, I already finished
Okay.
the next 3 times.
What do you guys think would be the conjugate of my denominator in problem 2?
Oh, why
I
is this
plus
one
square
wrong?
root of 5.
I plus square root of
Oh, I
5.
gotta do it right.
All right, see if we got this one. I mentioned I'd be pretty impressed if we got this one. It's the same process. It's just a little bit, we got some irrational numbers here. So when I distribute that, I get the square root of 5. I plus 5. Square root of 25 is 5. Okay. On bottom, we have I squared. I root 5i minus root 5i are going to be 0.
Oh, I see. Right.
Minus 5. Square root of 25. If that doesn't make sense to you folks, me like skipping those steps, don't do it.
Oh.
All right, on bottom I end up having I squared is negative 1. So up top I maybe just reorder those, putting my real part first, imaginary part second, and then I end up getting a negative 6 in my denominator.
Oh, I didn't.
Ooh, let's go. That's okay. So when I break it up, it's going to be a negative 5/6. I'm going to keep my color coordination here for myself. Negative 5/6 would be the real part. Minus square root of 5/6, which that's fine because there's no
Oh my God,
radicals in the denominator. I. You guys got it?
Question.
I got that same answer.
Question.
I got it too,
So
see?
when you multiply
See?
like the square root of 5
Got
I put the I before the square root.
Oh,
Does that matter?
That's fine. That's fine. We had that conversation yesterday, how I said like my textbooks at my old school always put them in front, but your guys' textbooks put them in back. So just make sure it doesn't like carry over the radical, but in front is fine. Okay, nice. So we got adding, subtracting, multiplication, and division down. All right, we're just going to do one more type of problem, and then we'll save all the equations
It's going
for
to be a
tomorrow.
combination. Wait, we did subtracting?
Yeah, I mean,
the second thing we did was.
that was like these ones were technically subtracting.
Oh,
Yeah, mommy.
what the heck? What?
What?
Okay, so these problems, there's a couple like this. in the book problems. I just want to go over a couple of them. It says find the values of x and y that satisfy the equation. They call this an equation. It's not really an equation. They're basically giving you two complex numbers that are equal to each other. All right, so my first complex number is 5x minus 20i. Of those two terms, which one is the real part? 5x. All right, now my second complex number is 35 plus yi. What's the real part of that? All right, so we're going to set the real parts equal to each other. Because if it's an equation, those real parts have to be the same. 5x has to be the same as 35. So this allows us to figure out what x is. X would obviously be 7. Yeah, so you just set the real parts equal to each other and then the same for the imaginary part. So on my left-hand side here, my imaginary part is negative 20i. That, if these are equal to each other, that has to be the same as yi. Now, you could go through the algebra here. You could divide both sides by I if you wanted to. You can do that. I mean, by looking at this, you'd be able to tell that y would have to be negative 20. Okay. That's how you do those ones. That kind of makes sense. You just set the real parts equal and the imaginary parts. Let's try one that's a little bit harder. Yep, that's just your answer. You just got to find x and y. No, we don't really have to. So look at, my variable's on the same side this time. Look at this whole complex number over here. Which part is the real part? 5 plus y, right? Can we see how that 3x minus 7 is our imaginary part?
Yeah, multiplied by I.
Yep, exactly. It's multiplied by I. So our real part is 5 plus y. What's our real part on the right-hand side? 9. So y would be 4. All right, and then the imaginary part, so we mentioned the left-hand side, that 3x minus 7. You can put I if you want to. You don't really have to because the i's end up like canceling out. But you could. Those just, you could divide both sides by I and those cancel out. So 3x minus 7 is negative 3. Setting the real parts equal to each other. 3x is 4, x is 4/3.
Okay.
There's some like that on your homework. Okay, yeah, we'll stop there because that's a good stopping point. We have just
2 more pages left.
just like 5 equations to do tomorrow.
5? I should probably draw some of my side.
Yeah.
I gave up.